Praised be Jesus Christ, now and forever. We're now in what the Church calls the great 50 days of the Easter season. As we know, every Sunday is really the celebration of Easter, what the Church calls the Paschal sacrifice, the saving death and resurrection of Jesus. During these great 50 days, we're meant to recall and be refocused in an even more profound way on the central event of our faith. Even more than that, this event, which is at the heart of history, the heart of the universe, is meant to shape every aspect of our lives. And if it doesn't, we must reform and repent. As the Scottish poet George MacDonald once said, "It's simply absurd to say you believe in him if you don't do anything that he tells you." It might seem strange then to talk about preparing for death in this season of life. More than strange, some might say it's morbid or even perhaps lacking in Easter hope. Yet that's not how a Christian should view the idea of thinking about death, specifically our own death. Humanity has a 100% mortality rate. The reality is that even faithful Christians, perhaps all of us if we're being truthful, especially in the secularized West, participate in some way in the denial of death. The thought of our own demise makes us uncomfortable. We find ways of avoiding it. We don't die, we pass. Where do we pass? To the next room? The old rituals of mourning have disappeared. We talk of closure, and we seem to impose a time limit on the length of grief. Even worse, some believers are embarrassed to encounter a person who's lost a loved one. We're afraid of death. It frightens us, and perhaps that's understandable. Yet the preparation for death is part of an authentic Christian life. It's neither morbid nor lacking in hope. The memento mori, the reminder of death, in art and culture, has been a feature of Christian art through the centuries. One thinks, for example, of the painting by the Spanish artist Zurbarán, entitled St. Francis in Meditation. What do we see in that picture? St. Francis of Assisi, that most joyful of saints, is contemplating a skull and meditating on his own death. Many saints had a skull on their desk or at their place of prayer, yet we moderns instinctively recoil at such a thought. Christianity is not a death-denying religion. It is a death-defeating religion. Living with a true faith in the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead should make the contemplation of our death, the certainty of our death, not a morbid fear to avoid, but a healthy part of an active spiritual life. Dr. Johnson, the great English man of letters, once said very humorously that when a man knows he is to be hanged in a fortnight, it concentrates his mind wonderfully. That concentration of mind is meant to make us live well, to avoid all that is petty and unimportant, to forgive, and as far as is humanly possible, to live in peace. St. Benedict, the father of Western monasticism, wrote in his rule that the monks should live with death daily before them. Live with death daily before them. That's perhaps something that we are all aware of in a heightened way at this difficult time. Once again, this is a wonderful lesson that the martyrs give us, a truly critical lesson, a beautiful lesson. Even though we know intellectually that we are going to die, we live so often as though this present life is permanent. The martyrs live the words of St. Paul, "O death, where is your victory? O death, where is your sting?" The world passes away, wrote Dr. Johnson, and we are passing with it. But there is doubtless another world which will endure forever. Let us fit ourselves for it. That's not morbid, that's Christianity. God bless.